is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, baby. Let's switch gears here. We'll get back to a little Dolphins talk. First, let's get a preview of the Miami Hurricanes as they hit the road and get ready to take on FSU. Right now, Manny is stuck in the black hole, so it's really hard to see him right now. All we're seeing is a pitch black picture here. There is no fake. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we've got. Wait a minute. Oh, now wait a minute. There we go. There's the masked warrior getting ready to get on the plane in a little bit and head off to Tallahassee. Is your flight on time? Uh-oh. This is dragging. There you go.
Yep.
Is your flight on time?
It is on time. Taking off at 12 o'clock.
Okay, I think you're right? Okay, yeah. It's on time?
Yeah, it's on time. So we're
yes. So you're in the boarding line and everything now?
It's on time.
Doing an interview on the boarding line. God damn,
I just went
you
through
are
it.
Committed, bro. You are.
That's right. That's what I do.
You just went through it. So okay, all right. So what, you're going in the plane now, or what's the deal? Okay. All right, good stuff.
Gonna be
All right,
boarding.
Manny,
Yeah,
so
we're gonna be
the
boarding
question,
in a few minutes. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So explain to folks how bad was that Pitt win for the Canes last night?
Well, I mean, it puts them in a precarious position in the sense that they're going to need Syracuse or Virginia Tech to pull an upset against Virginia and Pitt. I mean, one of those two teams is going to have to pull an upset. So, I mean, you know, if you want to make the ACC championship game, you're gonna have to get some help, and that's the position they're in right now.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh, one more check-in.
All right, no problem. No problem. You want to call me back, bro? You want to check in after you're done?
It's okay.
Check in after you're done.
I'm good.
You're good?
I'm in already. I'm on the plane. I'm getting on the plane now. It's one of those you got to walk out to the plane deals.
Oh, okay, that's right. You are going to Tallahassee, so yeah. It's what is it? Is it a propeller plane too? Are you going on Piedmont or something?
It's an Embraer jet. So
okay.
Yeah, but that's the deal. Sorry about that.
It's all good. It's all good. One row, two seats, aisle. I got it. I know exactly the kind of plane it is you're going to be on headed to Tallahassee. All right. Hey, the real question we all want to know is the Canes are favored by 2.5. Should we be hitting our Hard Rock app and laying the 2.5 when it's all said and done?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to come down to like a field goal or a one score game, a touchdown. I think if you're Miami, you're feeling good about the way they're playing offensively right now. Jordan Travis is coming back for FSU this week, so they'll have their regular starting quarterback, so their offense should be a little better. But I still think Miami wins this game and covers the spread.
Yeah, I kind of like Miami in this game only, and you know what I'm doing? I'm just going with the TVD difference. I just think the kid is a leader, is a winner, is one of those guys that is going to push his players, his team, his offense to be giving their max, and they're going to watch him obviously balling out and doing whatever it takes to win. And I think he's one of those guys that leads by example and also leads by emotion. Am I wrong on this?
No, absolutely. I think without question, he's a guy that, when you're looking to build a program, right, and you need a star quarterback, a guy who sets the example, he is the guy. And, I think the fact that he talked the talk and walked the walk against NC State built him a lot of credibility in the locker room. And so I think this team is 100% behind him now. I think without question, he's the leader of this football team on that side of the ball on offense. And, he's got a supporting cast, man. He's got guys that are good players and guys that want to have his back. And so, he's done what he needs to do to take over as far as the leader is concerned.
What should we, as Canes fans, worry about the most on Saturday taking on FSU?
Well, FSU's pass rush. I mean, Jermaine Johnson is a phenomenal player. I mean, he's one of the best pass rushers in the country, and their defensive line is much improved. So I think that's going to be a big factor in the game. Miami's offensive line on the right side has been excellent. DJ Scaife and Jared Williams But this is a showcase game for Zion Nelson. I mean, he's a guy at the beginning of the season wanted to prove to NFL scouts that he could play and be a high draft pick. Well, this is the kind of matchup going one-on-one against Jermaine Johnson. To prove that he's really worth the draft pick and worth leaving school early.
By the way, you can follow Manny on Twitter at Manny_Navarro if you're listening on the podcast, or of course watching it here live on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe to The Athletic and support Manny and all the great writers that cover locally and nationally. And obviously, it's a steal of a deal monthly to subscribe to The Athletic. Manny, the defense. The defense is, I mean, turned the corner around, right? You feel like we're seeing a much better defense now, right?
Yeah, no question. I think the secondary has improved the last couple of weeks. Even though they gave up 500 and whatever yards to Pickett in Pittsburgh, I still think that they're playing at a different level in terms of just making tackles and not allowing as many big plays. They did give up 3 big plays against Pittsburgh, but I think 340 yards of offense total, and they just did a much better job getting off the field, And so I think over the next couple of weeks, you're going to see more and more improvement, especially as James Williams and Cam Kitchens and Avonte Williams get comfortable. Those 3 guys at safety are elite players, and to me, that's going to be the difference as this team moves forward.
So talk to me, how is it that these young guys have made such an impact and such a quick transition? What do you see in that?
Well, for one, I mean, Cam Kitchens and James Williams have been guys that have been going to the film room early. They're really dedicated to learning the defense. I've been told over and over again that they're the first guys in there every single day, 15 minutes early, and so I think that kind of commitment makes a difference in the long run.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. Because, I mean, how much do you attribute it? Just it's the young players, or there's been adjustments in coaching when you start to look at everything and break down the film?
Yeah, I think part of it is they're being well coached. I think Travaris Robinson's an aggressive coach. He's a guy who wants to play physical man defense, and those guys want to play that style too. But they also have to understand that on certain blitz calls and certain pressure situations, they're going to have to play zone. And so I think they're making that adjustment. When you get to a higher level of football, it's not high school anymore. You can't just win with athleticism. Scheme helps you, and so I think they're learning in the film room, learning from Ed Reed, learning from everybody there what it takes to be elite safeties and to be elite playmakers in that side of the ball.
Your thoughts on the Rooster carrying the load over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. It's crazy that he had 32 carries last week at home, and I don't know if he can continue to take that kind of pounding physically week after week. I think they're going to have to involve Cody Brown. They're going to have to get Thad Franklin some carries. Both of those guys are still learning pass protection schemes and whatnot. But at some point here, I think just to sort of lighten the load on Rooster's body, he's 5'11", 190 pounds. He's not 210. So it makes a difference when you're getting pounded over and over again. And so I think he's done a phenomenal job. He's exceptional in the passing game. He's exceptional in open space, and he makes the most of nothing a lot of times. There's times when everything gets shut down, and he still finds a way to squeeze out a yard or two. So I think he's a big difference maker. You could see what Miami was missing the first 4 games when he wasn't around.
Hey man, we remember Leonard Conley, the Fly. He wasn't a he wasn't a
good
big
comparison.
Guy. He was a tough little guy, dude.
Yeah, and Rooster really reminds me of Duke Johnson in a lot of ways, just from the explosiveness factor.
Yes.
And how good his hands are. Duke was an excellent receiver out of the backfield, and he's still making a living in the NFL doing that kind of stuff. Catching balls out of the backfield. So, to me, I think that's a very natural comparison for Rooster.
And by the way, I got to tell you, the receivers are putting on, like Charleston, putting on a freaking show, dude. I mean,
well, you think about it.
We're watching some talent at wide receiver.
You're thinking about how many guys have come through here and really haven't been
right.
Elite and just been okay. And he's putting up, he's playing like a true number one. And I think that
he's reminding me of the Perrimans and the Blades and the Irvins. And when I watch Rambo play, I'm watching a big time player now. I'm watching one of those kind of receivers that we used to see in the past, Andre Johnson, Santana Moss, the kind of guy that the ball's coming to him and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, and I think what I like about Rambo more than anything is his toughness, because he's been getting hit pretty hard on some of
Yeah.
these plays, and he's not scared. He's not scared of the contact. You'd think a guy like him, he's not exceptionally big, very thin frame, and he still goes in there and he takes the lick and he keeps on ticking. And last week he fumbled, right, against Georgia Tech, had the ball sort of stripped from behind as he was trying to make a move. Some guys could go in the tank after that. He didn't. He came back and he made some big catches and helped them win the game. So to me, he's another shining example. You think of KJ Osborne from 2 years ago, the
Right.
kid they got out of Buffalo. Now he's
Fearless.
tearing it up in the NFL. Now you got two and 3 years where you go to the transfer portal and you get a receiver, and the guy doesn't just come in and play well. He's like your number one guy. It's a great advertisement for the transfer portal for the next couple of years.
By the way, and now that you mentioned that, that's kind of a characteristic now I'm watching of some of these guys that Manny has recruited. That these are guys that they're cut from a different cloth mentally. They don't get down right away. They don't point fingers. They don't pout and all that. These are kids that are like, "Oh, you got me? All right, I'm going to get you back on this one." One of these kind of guys. These kids play with an attitude. Is my point.
Yeah, there's no question. I think they're a different kind of kid that he's recruited here the last couple of years, and through the transfer portal, he's done a great job. I mean, you go back and you look at the hit rate on the transfer portal. How many guys have been at least contributors in some way, shape, or form?
Big
There's
time.
very few that haven't. I think of Tommy Kennedy, the offensive lineman, and Tate Martell. That's pretty much it. I think everybody else has come in and found the role one way, shape, or form, and some guys have really been, elite and big time contributors. And that's a testament, man, because that's hard to do. When you go into the transfer portal, you really don't know what you're getting, right? You have to do your homework. You have to really figure out a kid's character. And I think Manny's doing a good job of identifying the kind of kids that you want to bring into your locker room that aren't going to disrupt things. We know that he inherited a lot of disruptions with Jaron Williams, who, oh, by the way, is going to another school yet again. He's going to be going to his fourth school entering the transfer portal. So
Those are the kind of kids I'm talking about right there, dude. Those are the kind of kids. These kind of kids, they're not about transferring. I don't think a Charleston Rambo is like, no, I'm here to stay. I'm going to now establish myself. The Roosters establishing himself. Tyler Van Dyke is establishing themselves. These are guys that have come here now and they said, no, this is my spot and I'm taking over. I really like the attitude, and especially some of these safeties, man. They look absolutely freakish, dude. All right, so what's the prediction, Manny? What happens tomorrow, my brother?
Well, I think it's going to be a lot of points because I feel like there's going to be a lot of big plays in this game. Miami's defense is just susceptible to giving them up. And, FSU's got a home run running back in Josh Corbett. And I think their quarterback can make a lot of big plays as well. He's made a lot of big plays for them this year. So I'm thinking something in the 30s. And I think I predicted 36-33 Miami. Kind of a wild scoring fest. Because it's, these are two teams that, always play close games. I know last year it was 52-10, but, FSU's got a much improved defense, and I do think they're a better team than they were last year.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's going to be a lot of fun. And in other words, I'm laying the 2.5, and I'm going Canes tomorrow against the Seminoles. Manny, be safe out there, safe in your travels, my friend. We will catch up on Tuesday, hopefully talking about this Canes win.
Absolutely, brother. Good talking to you.
You got it, baby. You be good. There you go. Manny Navarro. We love him, baby. Canes wear Miami Hurricanes report.